Hey, Phantomaniacs, welcome to the newest unboxing here on the Needless Things YouTube channel. Today we are taking a look at the WWE Ultimate Edition Legends series, The Animal Batista. So I was pretty excited about this one. I don't have any Batista figures. I was initially not on board with the guy, but it was around this time that he won me over. And if you want a little bit of reference to sort of this era of Batista, you want to watch the 2005 Royal Rumble, which was a lot of fun to go back because I actually did something I don't normally do. I did a little bit of research before opening this figure up because I was actually curious about what exactly this came from, and I still don't know what this gear is from. It's clearly an episode of Raw, as you can see from the background here, unless this is doctored. Who knows? But I went and watched the 2005 Rumble, which is the one where Vince McMahon tears his quads running out to the ring to say that the match must go on. It's worth a watch. I sat down and watched. I didn't watch the whole thing. I kind of skipped through some parts. I got to see some guys that I haven't really seen on screen a whole lot in a while. And when Batista comes out at, I think it was number 28, uh, because the big man's not going the distance in that one. He comes out at about 28, and the pop is huge. The audience is way into him for the whole rest of the match. Uh, and then I watched the Monday Night Raw from February 21st, 2005, where Batista decides he's going to go against his fellow Evolution stablemate Triple H at WrestleMania 21. And then, of course, you're going to want to watch the World Heavyweight Championship match from WrestleMania 21. That's this era. But like I said, I'm not sure this gear. Maybe this is the night after WrestleMania. I'm not sure. I just didn't have time. There's only so many videos you can watch to prepare for a toy review. But he's got the animal merch shirt, classy. I'm a fan of the ultimate packaging. I actually like being able to see everything that it comes with displayed in there. I think this is some of the classiest packaging on the market right now. You've got the nice foil down at the bottom here. You've got all of the different glosses and everything in the print in the box itself. And then on the back here, we've got a little bit of bio about the animal Batista. Height 6'6". Doesn't say. Oh, there it is. 318 pounds, which Jim Ross announces him as 6 foot, or notes that he's 6'5", 318 pounds. From Washington D.C., finisher Batista bomb, career highlight, world heavyweight champion. 318 pounds of pure raw power. Oh, excuse me, raw power and pure intimidation. Nobody was more feared than the animal. Just ask his Evolution stablemate Triple H. After Batista ran roughshod through 29 other men at the Royal Rumble, the game went from thumbs up to thumbs down, leading to Batista's WrestleMania World Heavyweight Championship victory. And that moment, if you watch that Raw, that segment from that Raw, the crowd is so hot for what's going on. They just cannot wait. They know the turn is coming. It's good stuff. It's really good TV. So anyway, let's open this guy up and take a look at this Legends Ultimate Batista. As you can see, you've got the WWE Legends livery on the package. Let's see, where else is that? So it's both of those corners there. This is exclusive to Target right now, and there's been all kinds of controversy about it. I'm not going to get into it now because it's available thanks to somebody in the Major Wrestling Figure Podcast Facebook group. I was notified that this went up for sale online this past Saturday night, and I was able to get one, and it arrived today. And now I am reviewing it because obviously at this point everybody loves Batista. If you follow that guy on Instagram, you know what kind of stuff he's up to. Some of the good causes he's involved with. He just seems like generally a pretty great guy. So I'm happy to have a figure of him from the apex, as it were, of his career. I Walk Alone. Oh, that's another funny thing is Batista's entrance music at this time has like no lyrics. It's like kind of a whack older version of his theme as you know it now. It was kind of funny to hear. And this is something common to all the Ultimate releases. They'll have little quotes on here. And then the top just says, the animal, because that's Batista. You know what he would do? He'd come out and make his entrance, and he would just yell, the animal! That's what he did. Obviously, I'm joking. All right. So you can see everything's in a tray here, but the cool thing about these Ultimates is everything can be removed, as you saw a minute ago, and put right back into place, which I really appreciate about these releases because, so we have a random, this one fist held in place. Oh man, you toy manufacturers are crazy. So we've got three, look at that, no little, I don't know if you can see it or not. So there's a little plastic tab here for that one fist, and then nothing on the rest of them. Oh no, wait, there's one on the one hand also. So bizarre. How do they make these decisions? How do you decide which hand is more important to keep in place? Got that beautiful World Heavyweight Championship. We will never have one that actually says WCW, which kind of bums me out. But if you know where to look online, you can get one that's not made by Mattel. Got the shirt nicely stored in a little plastic tray there. Got three different heads. Got the big man himself. I'm just going to pull him right past those because as much as I like this packaging, I'm not keeping it. And then finally, we've got the clipboards. Now I'm curious to see the backs of these to see if they're accurate. These are the clipboards from that segment. Look at that. Oh, I love it. So from that segment on Raw, when Batista turns on Triple H, you actually have the contracts where he had to decide whether he wanted to go after the Raw's World Heavyweight Champion or SmackDown's WWE Champion, so that you can recreate that. Although Batista was wearing a suit in that segment and not his trunks, but that's fine because I love that I've got these clipboards. That's a lot of fun, and the detail on them is really nice. Look at that. Great print. These are just cool little accessories to have. I dig it. Now I need Teddy Long and Eric Bischoff to hand him these contracts. Get on that, Mattel. All right. So these Ultimate figures are the best articulated, nicest figures that Mattel produces. They're a premium price point, obviously. You've got sort of a neutral basic portrait right there that looks pretty darn good. The printing is excellent. He's got his little flavor saver going on his chin there. Everything looks great. Very well done. That is probably not the head I'll display, but I like that they did a good job with it. And this guy's got a good tan, too. He's not too pale. He looks like maybe he could be a little more tan, but compared to other Mattel figures, he looks like Batista looks. He's got those wild butterfly joints that are actually, they're integrated pretty nicely into the sculpt. They're not as distracting as some versions of the same kind of joint tend to be. And even on the back, you can see he's got his big giant tattoo that they have to work with, and it works pretty well. Looks good. Like wherever it is, I think they did a nice job of figuring out how to get this deco in the right spots. You've got this great abdominal joint with lots of range there. And again, the tattoo kind of works no matter how you have him posed. He's got the characters on his left arm, and then the bigger tattoo on his right. And again, Mattel has kind of figured out exactly how thick and bright tattoos need to be. Like this looks like a real tattoo. This one is maybe just a little bit darker than it should be, but still looks good. They've done a nice job with it. And of course, Batista's little belly button tattoo right there looking perfect. We do have the cut joint at the waist, which is a primitive joint that shouldn't be on any modern action figures, but of course we keep finding it. Uh, Trunks look great, nice design going on there. On the back, you've got Batista. I was kind of thinking this would be his WrestleMania gear, but it is not. He was wearing red trunks for WrestleMania with the animal across the front. Elbow pads are separate pieces. They're pretty flexible, soft plastic, so you can make use of the double. Let's see if I can slide that down just a little bit. You can make good use of the double jointed elbows that are in there. You can just wiggle those elbow pads around and kind of get the pose that you want. Wrist wise, just swivel and pivot. And then the legs, you've got that cut at the top of the thigh and the double jointed knees, which again, the nice soft plastic knee pads that you could kind of wiggle around or slide up and down just a little bit and get whatever poses you need out of the figure. I think Mattel has actually done a very good job of engineering around the elbow pads and knee pads. I've got to give them credit for that. Or I guess really choosing what kind of material to use for them so that they don't, because it could very easily be a stiffer plastic that rendered these joints useless. I think Mattel's done a nice job with this. I've got a cut at the top of the boot. And by the way, look at that Batista boot. Very nice. If this guy had the wrong boots, I don't always pick up on like whether or not boots are correct or look like they're supposed to look. And if these are wrong, I don't know it, but they are unique boots that look like what Batista wore. If these were lace-up boots, I would have been like, that's a problem. I'm not a big fan. I think Mattel needs to get to work on these ankles a little bit. Because as far as posability goes, obviously, I mean, that's insane. I can't do that with my foot. Can you? Posability wise, they're nice, but this rocker is not quite as primitive as the cut joint at the waist, but is pretty bad in this day and age. Mattel needs to adopt that same mechanism that every other line has now, where there's a peg and the foot swivels on the peg. I mean, they just need to move to that. Look at the painted rivets there on the boots. Really nice job on that. Looks like they missed a little paint on those top two rivets there. Well, really just on that one. And then the toe articulation, which I could do without. I'm not a fan of that. So he looks awesome. I mean, look at this guy. He's going to look great on the shelf. All the posing possibilities. You can have him, like he's doing his cannon entryway pose, which, by the way, let's go ahead and check out the other portraits so that pose will look right. But you can get this guy doing pretty much anything that Batista could do. So let's check out the other portraits. You've got the screaming portrait, screaming eyes closed portrait, which is basically what I was referring to with the when he makes his entrance and does his cannon fire pose or whatever. That's the face for that. Oh man, that didn't want to go on. So that's that one. Pretty awesome, right? Looks good. Looks really good. The paint, the teeth, the tongue, the inside of the mouth, everything is great there. Portrait is very well done. The closed eyes are something interesting and different. I don't think we've seen a lot of closed eyes figures from Mattel like this. Very intense. Looks awesome. And then we've got little smiling Dave. He's got a little smirk on his face. I would love to have a suited Batista because I want to put sunglasses on this head to go with that smirk. I think that would look really, really great. So let's get, we're going to make this guy Smiling Dave for now. I don't know for sure how I'm going to put him on the shelf, but I like Smiling Dave. I myself, from time to time, am a Smiling Dave. Let's get the shirt on this guy. I would like it. Another thing I would like from Mattel is if they would update their shirts because as a great voice in the toy industry once said, Does your t-shirt have Velcro going up the back? There are better ways to do these shirts. Sorry for going off screen. As I mentioned last week in my Thundercats reviews, if you haven't checked those out, please do. I'm getting used to my new camera setup, and the angle is a little different from what it used to be, so staying in screen is different. I'm still getting used to that. So the shirt fits really nicely. It would be nice if it could just slide over the torso, but it looks great. The printing on the shirt, I don't know if that's an error or if that's what the shirt looked like. I don't see why it would have that big gap in the A, but I'm not positive. But I'm probably not going to display him with the shirt anyway, because the tattoos all look so nice. So there you got his shirt. And then finally, we've got this World Heavyweight Championship. Really nice, shiny gold. The red gems on the outside look great. The side plates look fantastic. I'm trying to see if I can get a little better light on this, but I think it's so reflective, it's just going to be difficult to see the detail really well. But they did a wonderful job with this championship. One last thing that I wish Mattel would update is I hate these pegs. I much prefer the system where there's a little loop here and this side slides under. But anything would be better than these pegs. This is such an eyesore. It looks so bad. And nowadays, so many wrestlers don't even wear the belt around their waists. So when you put it over their shoulder, you've got these horrible holes just hanging out. It's bad. So lots of stuff Mattel needs to improve and work on. But judged against the current Mattel product for what it is, I think this Batista figure is great. If you find it, grab it. If you're a fan of Big Dave, and like I said, these days, who isn't? So thanks for watching, you guys. Oh, I didn't look at the hands. Sorry. He looks so great. Like that face. I just got to put sunglasses on that face, though. It's so good. All right, so the other hands, he's got these sort of standard relaxed hands. And then for the purposes of, and he doesn't even really need the thumbs up here. Although I'm trying to think back, I think he maybe started doing that when he was getting ready to give his finisher. So you've got a little thumbs down, Batista getting ready to give somebody the Batista bomb and absolutely ruin their day. But for me, this figure gets 2 thumbs up. Well, you know what? I'm going to give it a thumb and a half. A thumb and a half. Because like I said, there's some things that Mattel needs to improve in their figures in this line. But that's okay, because I still love this guy. He looks great. Thanks for watching. Please like, subscribe, share. Tell your friends about Needless Things. Yeah.
Smash that like button if you like Needless Things.